today's going to be like a little different from my usual videos because today I'm going to kind of be discussing multiple albums. So it's a little bit different because I usually like only discuss my CDs or one album. But today we're going to discuss a load of them. So I'm pretty excited. So this is going to be my top 10 favourite girl rock albums of all time. Now, girl rock, I'm not even sure if it's a rock genre, but it's just women who can rock, which is my favourite thing. It was my favourite thing a long time ago. It's my favourite thing now, because I used to be a big fan of Riot Girl, but I'm not really a big fan of Riot Girl now, but I am a massive fan of girl rock. So this is going to be some of my favourite girl rock albums, and a lot of these are going to be separate genres, but are all going to fit under obviously the girl rock umbrella, so let's get into it. So my first one, now this is not going to be in particular like, you know, oh, I don't like this one, so I'm putting it at the end. They're all going to be just in random places, just sort of randomized. So our first one is going to be an absolute classic, The Butcher and the Butterfly by Queen Adrena. Now, hands off my favourite album of theirs. Hands off their best album. However, some people might disagree. Like, I do like, what's it called now? Drink Me? I love Drink Me, but like, Butcher and the Butterfly is just everything. And it wasn't their last album. Djinn is their last album, but this was kind of like their second last album, and you can really see how they've developed as a band, and I personally really like it. It personally ramps up the girl rock scale to a maximum, and it's really good, and I feel like a lot of people on TikTok would like this album, because there's certain aesthetics on there that fit into this, especially, I think it's pronounced Marut, like it's very, very Marut, which is morbid and cute mixed up. And I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's very that, and it's very like pink, and like, you know, Katie, she has got some very sweet vocals, like some very, very sweet vocals. But then she's using these vocals to shout and be angry, which I really love. And she's just taking her whole rage out on everything and everyone. Probably, because I feel like the songs are aimed at some people. But, yeah, really good album. And really, the cover is everything. Cover, iconic. Really good. And really just the best Queen Adrena cover, I think. Well, I do like the cover for Drink Me, but this one it just takes all the energy from the album and just puts it onto one picture. So, yeah. So my second one is going to be a more popular album. If people really know, I mostly review obscure sort of bands, really. I wouldn't say like my CD reviews have been totally obscure, but some of them are. I mean, they're less popular, but this one is particularly like a really popular album, and it is Live Through This by Hole. Now, this album, obviously, Courtney Love, she is a controversial sort of figure. I really like her personally. I think that some of the male musicians have done some worse things than her, but they don't get called out on it. People only really call her out on things because misogyny. She's a woman who does bad things, and people feel like they need to call out women who do bad things, but not men who do bad things. Not really adding up, but anyways, if we just want to speak about the album, it's a very sort of angry young girl album and teenage album. A lot of people associate with the traditional angry teenage girl, and personally I listened to it I'm obviously still a teenager, so, but I obviously listened to it when I was about 14, 15, and it really sort of spoke to me in those times, and I feel like it speaks to everyone. However, I don't know, I think this one's really good. However, some of the songs are really popular. You've got songs like Violet, and I think it's If I Would Rather Die. I haven't listened to this album in a little while, so I kind of forgot, but If I Would Rather Die, I think that's the song. quite popular, but you've also got some songs like Gutless, Softer, I think that's how you say it. Softest, I think that's how you say it. It might be softest, but I haven't listened to the album in a while, so I don't know. And then you've got, I think Rockstar is a little bit like, not as popular as well, and I like Rockstar. I think that's quite cool, but it kind of, like a lot of people say the Hole is Riot Girl, Hole is not Riot Girl, and the Rockstar is the example of that because it was made against the Riot Girl movement. And the band is feminist, obviously you can tell by the very sort of understanding lyrics for what girls go through in their teenage years. A lot of them are sort of reflections of the times as well. This was made in the 90s, so sort of very different perspectives. We got it finally. Very different perspectives, sorry. But yeah, sort of around that time, I guess, being sort of like the dirty girl, I don't know what you call it, was sort of like edgy girl, would be seen as sort of, it's not seen as bad now, but it probably would have been seen as very strange back then, so you can sort of get that from the album. And also I feel like this album particularly front heads the kind of Kinderwhore aesthetic, which and it does, it kind of figureheads it, but like a lot of people could argue that like Kinderwhore comes from other places. You've got, of course, got like Babes in Toyland, who I'm going to be talking on later on in the video, because I can't leave Babes in Toyland out of girl rock. Literally, you cannot do a girl rock video and leave Babes in Toyland out of there. And I'm coming to your house. To remind you to include them there because I deserve it. Okay, so Hole, Live Through This, really good, and also cover is iconic. By the way, this is not Courtney Love. There are some misconceptions that say that this is Courtney Love. It is not Courtney Love. This is a pageant queen. I think she's a model of some sort. I know she's like Miss something. I found her Instagram account, and I think she might be still doing it. I don't know. Actually, I think she is. Yeah, she's still doing it. So Live Through This by Hole. My next one, underrated, though fairly rated at the same time. This is Spawn of Dysfunction by Daiso Fluid. Now, Daiso Fluid is very, 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 very underrated. Though they did kind of, they went from a band called Feline, which I don't really like that much. I don't know why, I just couldn't get into them, to Daiso Fluid, which is I think it's hard rock, but I can see other elements in there. I think Grog, who's the lead singer, likes to incorporate post-punk a little bit into there, just a little bit of post-punk and more goth and stuff. And this is like a particularly like really good album, and it kind of transcends the usual rock genres, but it is very, very angry, and Grog just puts her everything into the vocals, and she makes you understand that she is angry, and she's angry at everything, and she's angry at just everyone, and there you go. But some of the songs seem to be aimed at partners, like romantic partners, and I really like that. Some of the sort of revenge a little bit. It sounds like you're just getting angry and stuff. And I didn't really know how to describe this one in terms of feels, because it's very, very mixed. You can't particularly pinpoint a sort of feeling apart from like anger. You can't like say particular like style of this album, because it just sort of transcends everything that is there, and you couldn't want anything more. It's just all in this album, everything's there. And also the cover, I love it. I actually have it as my wallpaper on my phone because I love the cover so much. Like it's it's just there, but it's so like futuristic kind of looking. And there's a certain type of art style I'd like associate this with. Don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like in this style, as you can see with the album cover. But yeah, super good, underrated album that I would honestly recommend to anyone. The title track is so good, and it just sets out the whole album. I wanted this on CD at one point because I was obsessed with Die So Fluid. However, it's £11, and I'm not really into the band anymore, so I'm not going to be buying it. But I would consider it, but like I wouldn't actually do it. Like it's a good album, and I wouldn't mind having it on CD, but I wouldn't pay that much for it. Okay, so I think we're on number 4 because we're on number 4. I spoke about Babes in Toyland a little bit back, and well, here we go. We're gonna be doing Babes in Toyland, Fontelle. Fontelle is a really good album because the songs on there are just Kat putting her all into just angry girl, and it is again fronting Kinderhall again. It's a big sort of talking point whether Babes in Toyland or whole side Kinderhall. Some people think it goes a little bit back, but these two bands kind of fronted it, and they're actually enemies, so yeah. But I really love this album because it's kind of just like her being angry and like just that, and just like sort of like I'd say Kat has her own anger. She has just pure just anger, but it's not girl anger. It feels like something else. It feels like anger, just anger basically. But like some of the songs are a little bit more I guess a little bit more playful and directed at people, but like the example I would give is I think the song For Mother is on there because I listened to it the other day, and like yeah, it was on there, and that's obviously directed at a certain person, obviously a mom, and it's very sort of, you know it's directed at a mom. You can tell by the lyrics, and I mean the name is For Mother, but like the song is very much when you get to a certain age and you start to absolutely hate your mom, and that's the vibe I got from this song, and she perfectly captures it. But a lot of the songs here are just hands down good and angry, and just absolutely just the best. A lot of people count like Babes in Toyland and Riot Girl. They're not. I think they are grunge. However, some of the songs go into punk, which I really like. I like the mix of grunge and punk on this album really a lot. And some of the songs are really good, but some of them are a little bit long, but I feel like that it kind of makes them polished and stuff. And also this album cover is one of my favourite, and it's really underrated. I like how it's like set out with the doll and stuff. Dolls are a common sort of theme in Babes in Toyland, because the He's My Thing video, which is it's not on this album, it's on another album. That has like a bunch of dolls in it, and I really like it and stuff. And yeah, Babes in Toyland and dolls go hand in hand. Okay, so we're on number 5, and this one, traditional girl rock, and it's also got really popular, and people were arguing about it being like not you should keep it like obscure, but I disagree. I really disagree a lot with this album. So this is Jack Off Jill's Clear Hearts and Grey Flowers. Now, Clear Hearts and Grey Flowers actually has a particular aesthetic behind it, which I really like. It's kind of a mix of kind of rockabilly, Alice in Wonderland, Molgoth, all mixed into this one sort of feeling, and it gets that all really well. It captures the feeling of innocence, it captures the feeling of rage, it captures all the other feelings. Disgust. I mean, Jack Off Jill are great at conveying the feeling of pure disgust, and that's why I really love them. A lot of the songs just portray this sort of disgusty feeling you don't know how to describe, so I really like that. Now, the song Vivica got popular off TikTok, and a lot of people were starting to be like, oh, well, Jack Off Jill is actually a TikTok band, they're not very good, or something like that. And that's not true, because I feel like they earn all the credit that they get. They are a good band, and they deserve this sort of feeling and stuff. And I've dressed in like a few Jack Off Jill inspired outfits before, and they just perfectly capture this whole just weird girl effect in the whole of this album. And also the cover. Oh my god, I can't talk about this album without saying something about the cover. Cover just conveys it. The cover is like just the album. If you wanted to say what picture conveys all these songs, it'd be this one, because it does. You instantly, the cover is iconic, it's well recognised, you see it and you're immediately like, that is Jack Off Jill, Clear Hearts and Grey Flowers. And it was made by Mark Ryden, who is a American artist who makes a lot of these like pictures that are sort of inspired by a lot of things, and they're really good. They're my favourites. He's nearly my favourite artist, because there was a thing about him using AI a few months ago. I think he's apologised, but I'm not sure. But he is still one of my favourite artists, because all his art is so good, and it's all in this particular style, but this is the most iconic one. He's done various album covers, however, yeah, this is the most widely recognised. This is just everything. It's just, I love it personally. Yeah, it's going to be My Ruin. I kind of forgot what this album was called. I think it's One Prayer Against Something, but I do like it. It's a really, really good album. And I was kind of debating whether putting this one or Speak and Destroy. However, this one has more anger in it, and one of my favourite songs off this album is actually Beauty Fiend, which is just, you know, I'm trying to find a way to describe it. It's sort of just like, well, I don't want to be beautiful, or beauty is pain, which I feel like holds up a lot now, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to be beautiful, and if they're not, they are considered less than human. And this whole album just sort of conveys all these feelings that you have as a girl that are just like, just pure anger, and just, they are there. And this one in particular, I haven't listened to it in a while, actually, but I did used to be very, very big fan of Daiso Fluid, so there you go. Oh my god, I just said Daiso Fluid. I mean My Ruin, sorry. I used to be a big fan of My Ruin, and I still think it's really good, and I really love Tereri B. She's just an example, right, just there, and she's just the queen. She's just the queen of just anger, pure anger, and women-fronted metal, which another band I'm going to be saying later on is going to be metal, so Is It Rock? I'm not really going to get into that, but yeah, she's literally just the queen. Her outfit and stuff, everything. Her red lips are literally like the best thing ever. Like, because I did a sort of look where I blacked out my eyes and did red lips, and she is the queen of doing that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this album, especially if you are into nu metal and you want something a little bit more women fronted. Listen to this album then. Okay, so we're on 7 now, and it's going to get a little bit sort of scattered out. Not all of these bands are going to be rock. Some of them I'm just going to class under the umbrella of girl rock, which, yeah. So don't go in my comments and be like, well, this band isn't rock, technically, because, I'm acknowledging that, but, they deserve to be on this list, so, yeah. So, I think, as I said, we're on number 7, and this band is Kitty, which is a very, very popular band in sort of like girl rock and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people don't like Kitty because vocals are very, like a lot of people say, oh, you like Jack Off Jill, go and listen to Kitty. And I got a little problem with that, because they're kind of not the same genre. I'd say Jack Off Jill, girl rock, Kitty, new metal, heavy metal, a lot of those genres. So maybe don't, unless maybe do. I mean, the album I'm going to be recommending here is called Spit, and Spit is like the queen of sort of just women-fronted metal because it's so good and it's got those angry lyrics, but it's just like cranked up to 1,000. Like, it beats off all the other albums in this list with the anger scale because it's metal and you can be really angry in metal, and the woman who does the vocals is really angry. I forgot her name. I think her name is Morgan, but I'm not sure. I know that, like, I know some of the members of Kitty, but I think her name is Morgan. She did the vocals for this one, but I think someone else took her place for the other albums. But like, the other albums are pretty good. Like, a lot of people say that Spit is like Oracle is better than Spit. I'd say I don't really know about that one, but I mean, I do really like Oracle, and I do think it's on the same level as Spit, but I'm not going to say it's better than Spit because Spit is just the iconic one, and it also holds the most popular song, Brackish. Now, Brackish is like the figurehead of all the angry girl rock bands, and it's just a lot of people are saying like, oh, is Kitty a feminist band? But then like listening to Brackish and being like, yeah. It's about kind of a broken relationship and taking the power back in that broken relationship, or people who have gone through broken relationships. So I really recommend this album because all the songs are really good and just pure anger. Now, next band, I think, yeah, we're on number 8. Again, this one is not really girl rock, but you could argue that it probably is. Made by the lovely Jessica from Jack Off Jill. I absolutely adore this woman. Not her actions, obviously, but her as a sort of style icon, her vocal style and stuff. And she's in this band. Now, this is Scarling. This is Sweetheart Dealer. And this one particularly just like blows my mind because while it follows the sort of Jack Off Jill kind of self-pity but also anger in there, and this one has a lot of self-pity because this band is more emotional than Jack Off Jill, which a lot of people don't like. I personally like it, but yeah, it's very different from Jack Off Jill, but it's still angry, but it's lots of self-pity which does come out of it. And yeah, I don't really, I think you can class this one as both sort of self-pitying and being angry at the same time, maybe even angry at self-pity. So I really like this one. Band-Aid covers the Bullet Holes as a classic Scarling song. Scarling Supremacy here because I love Scarling and they have this sort of feel. Now, I was again debating whether to put So Long Scarecrow here because I like a lot of the songs off there, but that is more or less more sad than anything else, and this one has a lot of anger in it, so which I really think adds to the girl rock scale. So yeah, so I think it was number 8, I'm gonna say. So we've got 2 more entries left, and this is also gonna go into the not entirely girl rock, but yeah, I mean it's gonna go in a different direction. So my 9th album will be, I think, The Distillers' Coral Fang. And The Distillers is punk. However, I thought that this album follows the usual sort of girl rock sound, so I decided to put it on this list because, well, Brody Daly is an icon, an underrated one as well, because a lot of women in punk rock are classed as riot girls, and she's not. Distillers is a little more punk rock, skate punk in some areas, hardcore in a little bit. It's just punk. However, I really love this album because it's just her, and she's got a very distinct vocal style, which I really love. And you know, she just takes all the power back, basically. If someone's taking her power, then she just takes it back. This is really good. And as you can tell by I feel like the album cover gives it away a lot. Because just look at this album cover. Just look at it. It's just pure, you know this is about to be a wild ride, because the album cover looks exactly like that. So, this is my last one. And again, this is not in particularly order or anything, and this one kind of proves it because I haven't listened to it a lot. This is the Dog Bones. I think it's it's just self-titled. It's because they didn't make any more albums after this, and you know. So the Dog Bones is just there. I haven't listened to this album a lot, but when I did listen to it, it was just anger, and that is what it is. And but my favorite song is "Hey My Chihuahua" because it's a little bit fun, and some of the songs are quite fun, and some of them are a little bit comedic. Some songs, some of them are not, but some of them are. I really like that about this band. But some of them just go into basic topics like wanting alcohol. So yeah, we got the balance there. But it is very angry, and Hey My Chihuahua was very angry, but it's like sort of a little bit demanding, a little bit of love song, a tiny little bit. And also you can tell by this album cover, it's going to be a wild ride. So yeah, that concludes my list. But I'm going to do a little bonus entry here because I wanted to do a bonus entry because there was so many bands I could have put in here. For our bonus entry, we're going to have Diva Destruction, Passion's Price, because I really love this album, but Diva Destruction is a gothic rock band, which doesn't really fit in here. Well, it kind of does fit here because obviously girl rock, but I feel like I needed to sort of isolate it from the rest. This is a gothic rock album, but it's filled with the angry and just like taking back power and just diverting that power into yourself. And Deborah, she has brilliant vocals and she's sort of just entrancing you with these vocals. And I feel like the album cover also communicates that. So that will be commencing the end of my list. I'll be doing some other videos sometimes because I kind of record when everyone's out of the house because I don't want them kind of finding out. So this is the end. Please tell me what you thought about my picks, and goodbye.